What's going on? Happy Father's Day. All right, all the fathers out there. It's your boy Lionel, class of 2009, back with another episode of PV versus everybody. And listen, we're continuing with the series, all right? Because all summer long, man, we're looking to bring you close, interactive, right? Get you in touch with the student athletes that are putting it on for the university. And man, we got another exciting gentleman that's going to be with us this evening. But before we bring him up, we got to talk a little bit about these preliminaries. First and foremost, listen, if you're not following us on Instagram, if you're not following us on Twitter, make sure you give us a follow over on there. Also, listen, we've just been able to now also be the sideline college sports representative for Prairie View A&M University. And so make sure you're following us there as well, SSN_PVAMU. But listen, hey man, we get it in on Twitter, we get it on the Instagram. So make sure you're following us on both of those platforms, right? Because we're really trying to start something major. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. The goal is 500 subs before the fall. We're getting close. We're getting there. We're about 60 plus off, okay? And so if you have not subbed to the channel, but you've been enjoying the content, right, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video too as well. It doesn't cost you anything. Go ahead and like the video, because obviously that's going to help YouTube to push this out to others in Panther Nation who need to be joining us here in this community. So go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share it with a friend, all right? Because we are gathering here and we're getting ready. We're getting prepared for what's about to be an epic 2024, all right? It's about to be epic. And it's about to go down. Listen, if you don't already have your season tickets, you better go ahead and get them. All right, there's only 10 season tickets left in section 107. The goal for season tickets this year is 2,000. So make sure you go ahead and grab those, right? Obviously, the slate of games is there in front of you. And so if you're trying to get in with section 107, if you're trying to get litty on the fitty, like they say, then hey, you better go ahead and get your ducats together, because it's about to be sold out in the section. All right, we got space for you in 106 and 108, but 107 is about to be sold out. So you need to go ahead and cop your tickets right now, because it's about to be gone. All right, now before we get into the show this evening, before I bring up the special guest of the evening, man, I just want to say, listen, it is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, right? I know we have a lot of fathers out there in Panther Nation, a lot of gentlemen who have been putting in work, not just for their own children, but a lot of times even for individuals that are not their biological children, or individuals that are, maybe it's a nephew, maybe it's a niece, right? Maybe it's just somebody who you just care for at your job, right? Somebody who you just cover, right? And so I just want to say, man, shouts out to each and every one of you on Father's Day. It is super important that we recognize those who are doing that amongst us, right? And so, I had a video that was sent to me, it was a tribute video that they wanted to share. Just shouts out to all the fathers this evening. And so we're going to just show this video. After we're done with that, right, we're going to call up our special guest for the evening. But I just want to share this short tribute video for all those out there in Panther Nation, all those fathers. My sons, for real, Third World Community College, they just wanted to send that shout out to Prairie View A&M on Father's Day, because that's 9 years in a row, 17 out of the last 20, about to be a dime piece in the fall, August 31st. So for all of y'all out there who have witnessed all of the butt whoopings, you got to sometimes you got to get your kids in line. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to get your kids in line. And so this just shouts out to PV Nation from Third World Community College. So with all that said, without a further ado, I want to call up our special guest for this evening, none other than Dontay Hunter the second. How you doing, man? What's going on?
Doing good. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing well. Now, I know there had to be some question at some point. Why the second? Why not junior? What's the story behind the second?
The story behind the second, essentially, my dad is senior, and he didn't want me to be a junior, so the second is what we went with.
So he didn't want a junior, so he's like, listen,
right.
Hey, listen, that's what kings do, though. You know what I'm saying? Got second, right, third, fourth. Hey, so that's following some good line right there. You know what I mean?
Sure, for sure.
Yeah, man. So we're excited, man, to have you. Obviously, when the commitment came through, PV Nation Twitter was buzzing. Obviously, checking out just some of your tape, man, and just the aggression, right, that you play with. I mean, it's gonna be exciting to see, what you're gonna be adding, obviously, to that defensive line room. And we really looking and really believe, man, it's really a trench mob for real. And it's definitely really stacked. Coach Jonas, you know what I'm saying, and what he's got going on over there. What have been some of your conversations with Coach Jonas, man, Coach Marlin, so far? I know you haven't been down, right, and not on campus yet, right? But what have been those conversations just offline as you're getting ready to come down and join, the rest of the squad?
Really, our conversations have been pretty good. He wants me to come down and just be ready to go. That's been his main focus, be ready to go. He's talked a lot about being a rotation and, rotating a lot of guys. So really that's been that's been the talk. Just be ready to go. Be on your on your stuff. So you know what I mean.
Right.
So
Coming in, you got to come in ready to fire,
right,
get it on.
right,
Nah, that's good, man. And I think that's the good thing, right, about having depth in that room, right, is that provides so many opportunities, right, for that group, right, for that positional group, just to cause the havoc that you want to cause. Obviously, when you talk about trench play, it's so big on both sides of the ball, right, and so whoever can win at the line of scrimmage, you're helping the linebackers out, right? You're helping the corners out, the safety, right? So, I mean, literally, you guys are the key to everything else that the defense wants to do. And so, man, like I say, we're super excited to have you come down. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But first, I want to just back up just a little bit and just talk a little bit about just your history, right? Some people may not know, right, where you're coming from, etc. So I know you're coming out of Ohio, right? First and foremost. And
right,
I know that, listen, when people look at tracking where NFL players come from, right? People talk a lot about obviously Texas. We down here in Texas, what I'm saying? I'm from Louisiana, right? And so when we talk about per population, right? We in that thing. We talk about population wise, but obviously you got California, you got Florida, you got the Georgia. But listen, Ohio is there, man. Talk to us a little bit about, man, what was like playing under Friday Night Lights in Ohio, right, in high school.
right. High school that was different. You know, high school was fun. Uh, it was a big stage. I played in the OCC at
Okay.
Westerville Central. Uh, we weren't the best, but we were definitely a team that you had to look out for. You had to be ready to play. So it was exciting though. Like I loved my experience in it for sure.
Nah, I mean, definitely that's big. I know you guys have big time football out there, and I know your senior year. I mean, you went crazy. You talk about over 100 tackles right that season. 12 sacks. What was how where did you know? Could you see maybe in that sophomore, that junior year that you had that type of senior season in you, or was it something that even caught you by surprise?
Um, you know, I feel like I put in the work, so I expected myself to do what I
Mm,
did, but really I couldn't do any of it without God. So
amen.
he's a strong part in my life, and without him I'm nothing. So I really give that to God. He really did that for me. If I'm being completely honest.
And I mean, obviously that season, I mean, obviously put you on the map, right? You were named the 3-star, 247 Sports, right? Rivals. So I mean, obviously, God came through,
Right, for
what I
sure.
mean, big time, right? And helped you to get to that point. But like you say, right? He gave you the essentials that you needed, right? But he also expected you to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? To
Exactly.
take the gifts that he gave you and put in the work, and you did that in order to put up that production that you did that year. Now, I know during that time you obviously chose Purdue, right? Coming out of high school, what was that recruitment period like for you in general? Maybe what were some other schools that were even looking your way, or that you had to make a decision, between? And then
Right.
why did you decide to say I'm gonna go to Purdue?
So I was deciding between Kentucky, Purdue,
Mm,
Pitt, uh, and then Ohio State was in the conversation too. But Purdue ended up being the best spot for me. Academically and athletically.
mm,
I had a really good chance of going in and playing early. Um, and then that year that Purdue beat Ohio State, I think like 49-7, something crazy like that. That
mm.
was my official visit. So that kind of was the icing on the cake for it. Like, boom, I'm going to Purdue. I'm from Ohio. So yeah, Purdue was really the best fit. We had a great class coming in. So everything was just lining up.
That makes sense. And interesting you said it's not just the best fit for you to be able to get on the field early, right? But you also talked about being the best fit academically, and I know
Right.
there's going to be, probably people even on that's watching that's probably, that's even going through their recruitment period, or they're about to get to the point where they're in that late high school, junior, senior year, going through the recruitment period. Talk a little bit about maybe what are some tips that you would give them, right? As they're looking for the best spot for them, because somebody would even hear what you just said and said, man, Ohio State was in the conversation, got Purdue in the conversation, but I chose to go to Purdue over Ohio State, right? So talk a little bit about, maybe give some tips of, what you would say are important for people to consider when they're looking at what school to choose.
Definitely one of the main things I would say is go somewhere you're wanted and not tolerated. So for me,
Mm.
Purdue wanted me.
You gotta
So
say that again. You gotta say that again.
you gotta go somewhere where you want.
I think some old people also need to hear that too on their jobs and stuff, right? You might not say that again. They might didn't catch that.
Like I said, you got to go somewhere where you're wanted and not tolerated. So for me, that was huge, and that's really one of the main things. Like, family atmosphere. Somebody that really wants you for who you are and what you do,
Mm,
not just come to our school and you can be a guy for us, but like they're not really showing you the seriousness that you really want. So and really that's what I got from PV is they want me, not tolerated. You know what I mean? So
mm.
once I felt that, it was game on.
No, that's dope. And like you say, that is super important. And I think that's just a principle in life, period. Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where you talking about relationships, where you talking about jobs, right? Or who you're gonna connect yourself with, who you may partner with on, business ventures, etc. Right. It's important for for there to be that mutual like desire between both parties, versus it feeling like, man, I'm doing you a favor almost, right? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Are you lucky to be here type of thing, right? Type of vibe. You don't want those type of vibes, right? You want it to be that connection. So I know also we got a couple Panthers in the building, you know what I'm saying? Welcome you to the hill, you know what I'm saying? Big G Boom. You're gonna see him around campus a lot. But I know you talked about you went to Purdue, right? Talk about just that time there at Purdue, right? Obviously, you went to Ohio afterwards, but that time we was at Purdue, right? Being in that room, right? Being with that defensive line group, what's some of the things that you feel that you picked up, from the D line coaches, defensive coaches, right? At that time that prepared you for your next step to Ohio, and it even has set that stage for you also as you're now coming down to PV.
Right. So playing in the Big Ten, I mean, it was a good experience. Everybody's good there. You know what I mean? So uh, being able to learn from players like George Karlaftis, who I came in with. He's with the Kansas City Chiefs right now.
Mhm.
You got Branson Dean, who's with the Buffalo Bills. Just guys like that. We had a really good and a mature defensive line. So
Mm,
coming in as a young defensive lineman, I was able to learn from those guys. Lorenzo Neal, Anthony Watts, DeMarcus
mm,
Mitchell. All these guys are, guys that I was able to learn from and take little things from. Derek Barnes is with the Lions. So a lot of guys are at that next level that I want
yeah.
to be at. So being able to learn from them, protections and slides and all these different things, reading offenses, just different things like that. So
Mm.
it was just a great experience to be able to learn because Big Ten football, is legit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah.
No, it's big. I mean, was when you came from high school and got to college, right? Was that kind of the biggest thing that you saw that was almost the big like, man, this is college moment as far as seeing like the mental side of like, man, I thought it was just like pin my ears back, go get whoever got the ball, right? Where it's like, man, there's a lot more that goes on, right, in the mind of play by play, right? What the offensive line is doing, checks the quarterback is making, right? Was that kind of that moment that you realized, like, man, this not high school Ohio football anymore?
For sure, yeah, for sure. No, I got there, and it was definitely the mental aspect was more than I thought it would be. I knew I
Mm,
had to have an understanding of the game and things of that nature, but getting there and really being first hand in it, yeah, that mental is very important. So I think it really helped me a lot, developing as a player.
That's big. That's big. And when you talk about the film room, obviously that's a huge part, right, of being able to learn, right, and pick up things. Talk a little bit about that, right? What are some things that you've learned along the way, just from how to even watch film, right? Because you talk about some of these guys who come through, right? Everything is not physical. You already talked about that. There's the mental side too, but talk about the importance of the film room and kind of what are some of the things that you've learned to even pay attention to when you're in that room, right, paying attention to what the offensive line, quarterback, etc., are doing.
Right. So in the film room, eye in the sky does not lie. So for me, I would say that I was watching more. Of course, you're going to watch the plays, how many times they run in this play, tendencies of players and stuff.
Mm,
For me, as a defensive lineman, I'm watching the offensive lineman, how far he got his leg back on a pass play, how heavy he is in his stance on a run play.
mm,
The quarterback did this, running back looking over there. You know what I mean? Because film, you can watch every player, like the whole, like, you know what I'm saying, break it down and take your
Right.
time with it. You don't really want to rush through it. So for me, I would like to say I would take my time and really see things that other people aren't seeing. You know what I mean? Give me that edge.
That's
So,
good. That's good, right? I mean, you're taking it piece by piece, right?
right.
And I think that's very important, like you say, right? Because there are some tendencies that you're going to be able to pick up that, I mean, if you key in on something like that, that's a tendency that maybe the player on the other side or the coach on the other side, right, hasn't been able to pick up for his own players, right? It gives you that edge, right? You know, to recognize you've seen guys make, I mean, awesome plays, and when you talk to them, it's like, man, listen, that came from them hours of film study. I knew where they were going with the ball, right? You know what I'm saying? I knew what a quarterback was going with that check down, right? And they're able to make those plays. You think it's just all like spur of the moment, but it's like, man, that's not just the reps, right? Again, physical reps, but that's the mental reps, right? And so you got to have as many mental reps as you got physical reps as well. Shouts out to Arabi here, you know what I'm saying, man, very, very mature young man. You know what I'm saying? We can definitely see that. Now, I know when you went to Purdue, I know that you talked about the academic side of things. What was your major when you went to Purdue?
So my first couple of years I was undecided, but I was in a lot of communication and business classes.
Okay.
So really I didn't really declare at Purdue. I was kind of, in that
Okay.
process, freshman, sophomore, picking my way through what I wanted to do.
Gotcha. So when you went to Ohio, is that when you kind of declared your
Right.
major? Okay.
Right. So transferring to Ohio, all my credits didn't transfer over from Purdue because Purdue is a very prestigious university.
You're right.
So
Right.
going to Ohio, they have this thing called a BSS, which is a Bachelor of Specialized Studies.
Okay.
So I was able to combine classes that I took from Purdue and the OU and put them together into one degree. So I was able to get a BSS in entrepreneurship, sales, and recreation.
Oh wow, BSS in entrepreneurship, sales, and recreation.
Right.
Oh man, it sounds like you teach all us some stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, we need that sales piece is super important. You know what I'm saying? And really, whatever you in, you know what I'm saying, that sales piece is important, man.
Sure.
So ultimately, right? You know, you got that BSS. And just quickly, right? I know you coming in. Are you coming in at PV as a grad transfer, correct?
Correct.
So when you're coming in as a grad transfer, what are you what's going to be your degree that you're declaring down here at Prairie View?
I'm thinking about going into the business side of it because I got the entrepreneurship, the sales, and
Okay.
recreation. So really, I just want to focus more on business, to really get that full entrepreneur, what I mean, all together. So
Gotcha. And what I mean, long term, right? Obviously, football obviously is a goal, but like we always say, right? No matter if people play football and they can use up all their football, you can't play football for the rest of your life, right? You know what I'm
right,
saying? So
right.
after football, right? You know what I'm saying? What's your goals, man? What's your thought process? Have you thought about, what you're looking to use these degrees towards and for?
For sure. So with my degree, one thing I've really looked into is selling medical equipment. So I want to, and plus
Okay.
I want to have, multiple ways of revenue. So medical equipment is definitely at the top of the list. Then I'm in the process of getting my real estate license, life insurance license, and then ultimately I want to build a rec center. I know that's crazy,
Nice.
but hey, but a rec center for me is like a sports complex. I don't know if you heard about this, Aspire Institute.
I haven't heard about Aspire. Okay.
Spire is it's like a school, but it's you got all these
Aspire
different
Institute.
sports and get kids to different schools. They can get recruited from there. It's like a prep school type deal.
Oh, okay. Spire Academy. I see. Yeah.
Right, right. So definitely making a sports complex is definitely something I want to do. I feel like I've always been good with kids, and I've been able to understand. They listen to me very well. So I think, and I know a lot about the game: football, basketball, track. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to give back once I'm done with
That's
it.
awesome. No, that's
So,
awesome. I love that, right? And I love, that you have that thought process and mentality is already in your mind, right? Of giving back. You know what I'm
right,
saying? A lot of times we talk about going and how we're gonna go bring in money. We all got to bring in money, obviously, right? But how are we gonna give back, right? And the truth is we can give back and also take care of ourselves at the same time, right? You know what I mean? Like God has made for us to be able to put those two things together. And so I'm super excited that's what you're looking to do, man. Hey, we got a lot of PV real estate, you know what I'm saying, professionals down here. I got my real estate license as well, man. So we definitely got a wrap. You know, we got a couple others, you know what I'm saying, on the money side of things, right? You know what I'm saying, loan agents and also other realtors. So definitely we can connect on that. You know what I mean? And are you, because look, and we can have this Texas Ohio connection. We can get this going.
Yeah, we can get that going. It's today.
Oh yeah, we can get that going. We can get that instantaneous. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Hey, listen, all y'all. Hey, listen, don't call me. Don't text me right now. All right, listen, we're gonna get this connection going. All right. So got a couple quick rapid fire questions for you too. Before we jump in and talk about your transition down here to PV, man. You know, first and foremost, I know you're an Ohio guy, man. Who is your NFL team?
Cleveland Browns all the way.
Okay, you're a Cleveland Brown dog pound guy.
All the way.
Okay, dog pound, man. That's good. How you feeling about y'all situation right now coming into this next year?
Hey man, this year our year. That's it. Man. That's all I say. This year our year.
Oh man, this the year?
This our year.
Hey, listen, man, y'all. That's a tough AFC North, man. That's tough sledding.
Hey, look, we made for it, man. We dogs, man. This is what it is. We dogs.
You gotta be a true Cleveland fan. Like, listen, this is our year.
Yeah.
This is it.
Like it's been rough, you know.
Hey, listen,
years.
I know, man. Listen, that quarterback play in the AFC North was tough, guy. Like,
yeah, for sure.
It's tough. You gotta stay healthy first and foremost. That's the first thing. Now, my boy J-Bo is there. I appreciate my boy J. You already see what it is on the hat. So
I see it.
You already know what it is. You know, my boy J-Bo's over there, but you know what I mean. Listen, y'all both of them y'all gotta stay healthy, okay, at the quarterback position.
I think if they stay healthy, we got a good chance, especially Nick Chubb. We need him to be healthy.
Yeah. Listen, it's gonna be good though. Hey, I love the AFC North. AFC North is always some good battles every single year. You know what I mean? So that's for sure. Okay, so so favorite NFL team. All right, you got the Cleveland Browns. What about who's your favorite player of all time?
Favorite player of all time. That's a tough one. I mean, I like a lot of players, but a favorite player of all time. I'll probably have to go with. And you put me on the spot.
Oh yeah. Listen. Somebody might see the video too and be like, I thought I was the favorite. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. My favorite player right now, I can give you a current.
All right, give me a current player. Favorite current player right now
is gonna have to be Myles Garrett.
Okay. Makes sense.
Sure. And then Hassan Reddick.
The Myles Garrett definitely makes sense. Actually, the more I think about it, yeah, that makes sense.
He's dog.
Oh yeah, I remember Garrett back in high school.
Man, in Texas, yeah.
When they used to show, it was Georgia, right? Didn't Garrett come out of? I thought he came out of Georgia, right? But I remember watching his high school. I remember watching that high school game he had, and he was killing.
It's just natural for him.
Oh, killing boys in high school, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. But it said, Jim, listen, man, you don't went back. I ain't never seen Jim Brown except it's on a film that got speckles in it. All right, listen. So you gotta kind of come to the 21st century. All right, you gotta come a little bit closer to me. All right, you know what I'm saying? My boy Jeff, you gotta come a little closer to us. All right. So okay, so Myles Garrett, I can get a Myles Garrett. Obviously that makes perfect sense. That kind of fits. Now, who would you say if you had to pick one player that you say you model your game after? Who would that player be?
Hassan Reddick.
Gotcha. What is it about his game that particularly you say, you know, this is why I like to model my game after, you know, what I see from him?
Hassan Reddick can come out of a 2-point stance, 3-point stance. He can drop in coverage. He can rush the passer like a madman.
Right.
He can do it all, man. I feel like that's the type of player I am. I can do it all.
I did say all time. You're right. But I mean, I was meaning like all time as in like I saw him with my eyes, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I meant. But no, that makes sense, right? You know, somebody who can do it all, right? You know what I mean? Swiss Army knife, like type of player, right? They call him, right? So no matter what position you put him in, he's going to be able to get it done. That's dope, man. When you talk about, obviously this summer, we got NCAA college football about to come out, right? You know what I'm saying? Very soon. I asked this question to Lamar J when he came on last week. What's the first team you pulling up and playing with? You know what I'm saying? You got the game loaded up. What team, what squad you rolling with?
I'm probably going with Colorado.
Ooh, Colorado. Okay. We're going Shador. Why Colorado? Why Colorado?
Because them boys is dogs over there. So you know what I mean? Like they'll get the job done for me.
Okay. So it's all right. The Big 12. They got the Big 12 this year, moving away from the Pac-12. What's that finish gonna look like? I'm assuming they're gonna be bowl eligible, right? What do you think that final record is gonna be for Colorado this year?
Final record is, I don't even know, because last year they were supposed to do way better than 3 wins.
They were supposed to, but they didn't. All right.
So hopefully they can get over 7 wins.
You got too much hope in you. You got too much hope. See, when we talk about Cleveland, you said it's the year. You was clear, you was precise, you an entrepreneur. You got to speak. You got to speak with that surety. You feel me?
Look,
now you shaking.
My main focus is making sure we get Prairie View to the SWAC championship. So
hey, listen, you shut me up. I ain't got nothing else to say.
Yeah, but like back to Colorado, one of my homeboys who played at Ohio with me, Rayon Buell, he just transferred there.
Okay,
and I know the type of player he is, so they really are reloading with that recruiting class. So they got a chance of really doing something big over there.
Nah, that's dope, man. I think they obviously got a great chance, right? And miss it. They're in a great conference. I think they're gonna be in some really close games. Really gonna depend on can they close out games, man. I think that's really one of the big things for Colorado this year. You know what I'm saying? Can they close out games? So for you, man, when you talk about getting ready for a game, what's your pregame routine? Do you got any specific things that you do, any specific rituals, etc.? Or what's your pregame routine when you're getting ready for a game?
My pregame routine. So after we get done with all the meetings and things like that, first thing I go do is get in the sauna, because I taking care of my body is the most important for me. So I go get in the sauna and I do a little activation for my legs, my calves, my ankles, things like that. I'll go hit about 100 curls. Then I hit the field, go through my warm up, my progressions. Then after that, I walk around the whole field. I got some affirmations that I say to myself.
Okay.
Walk around the whole field, say my affirmations, go back inside, meditate for about 10, 15 minutes. And then I'm ready to go, really. After that, it's game on. I got the music playing. I'm gone. I'm in that mode. Like
what you got in the earphones, you know what I'm saying? Pre-game, 10, 15 minutes before you about to get out, hit the field again before game start. What you got in the headphones?
10, 15 minutes for the game start. I got Youngboy playing for sure.
Okay.
I got Youngboy playing.
It's a lot of Youngboy playing, you know what I'm saying? In these headphones.
He gonna give me that mode. I got Youngboy, I got Kodak playing. Both of them going back and forth. Okay,
Kodak and Youngboy. Okay, gotcha. Now, obviously talk about now coming down to PV. And by the way, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I heard you, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Your focus is getting PV SWAC championship game. So I heard you. You feel me? When you talk about HBCUs, right? HBCU experience. I know obviously in Ohio, right? We got like Central State there. I think Wilberforce is in Ohio, right? I think it's the only two Ohio HBCUs. Maybe another HBCU I'm missing, but what was your kind of experience? What's your background with HBCUs in general? Were you aware of HBCUs, HBCU culture, etc.? Was it something new to you? Kind of talk a little bit about that.
I was aware of it, but this is definitely something that's fairly new to me. So I'm really excited about it. Like I know it's like y'all get like that at PV. Like I'm watching the videos, I'm seeing the clips and things of that nature, the bands. Like I'm familiar with it, but it's new.
Okay. So not super familiar with it. So when you were getting recruited during that time, you didn't have any HBCUs reach out, even look your way at all either?
Yeah, I had Jackson State, I had FAMU.
Okay, gotcha.
Texas Southern. So those schools all hit me up, but I mean, at that time, I wasn't really interested in going there.
Right. Gotcha. So no official visits or nothing like that, right? Gotcha. Okay. So now, were you able to come on an official visit down to PV?
I'm actually, when I come down there July 7th, that's when I'm gonna do my visit down there, and then I'm there for good. So
Gotcha. Okay, so you ain't even tasted it yet. You ain't even tasted it.
nah,
Okay.
I'm kind of sightseeing. I'm spectating.
It's gonna be good. Listen, it's gonna be good. So we're gonna have to lock in because I'm definitely gonna have to get your feedback, you know what I'm saying, on what you feel, you know what I'm saying, once you come down and get on campus and put your eyes on it, man. Because one thing I say, you know, when I came to PV, man, and this was before the new stadium was built, Panther Stadium. And so that was the only thing when I looked at the campus, I said, man, this campus is so beautiful. And I had been, man, to Washington, I had to go to UW, I had obviously visit colleges up to Atlanta, right in the South. And it's like, I'm like, man, this campus is so beautiful. And I people think I keep saying that because I end up going to PV, but I'm like, no, literally when I walked, I'm like, the campus is dope. Like the only thing that this campus needs is a football stadium, and it would be complete. So I really want to get your perspective, right? Because we got a saying where it's like, man, if we get you on campus, man, you're gonna love it and you're gonna want to stay. You know, so I'm definitely want to, you know, get your feedback. Obviously, when you get down, just to see, you know what I mean, and just to get, you know, you're a sales guy, so you know, just to see, like, hey, what can we do to tweak and make it better, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we know you got that degree, you got that knowledge, so you know, we gotta make it the best it could be, man. So so now talk a little bit, right, about just that recruitment, right, from PV, right? Talk about, you know, obviously, we know that you did commit, right? What was the conversations like, right? What was that thing that made you say, man, PV is the right spot for me right now, right? Because obviously had a chance to play in the Big Ten, had a chance to play MAC football, right, in Ohio. But what was it about PV at this time that you say, man, this is the right spot? Obviously leaving, you know, you talk about Purdue also, man, you around the corner, right? Indiana and Ohio. You talk about Ohio, you know, in Columbus, the family can drive down the street in Columbus, right? Like, how do your family even feel about you being in Texas? Because that's a long drive if they try to come to a game, right?
So I mean, definitely talking to Coach Jackson. I mean, it was a great conversation. You know, to start off, you know, he loved my film. He loved my film, and that's what stood out to me. He just loved the way I played with my aggression and my finesse. I can, you know what I'm saying? So like based off that, you know, he kind of sold me because, you know, just being able to get the opportunity to hear that from a coach, and like especially playing in the Big Ten and the MAC, I feel like going to play HBCU, I got all that. So going to try to go to the next level, I feel like my story will be different than anybody else's. So I'll be able to have all that in my bag and my resume and be able to say I did it on all them levels in college and I'm ready for the next level. So that was really the main thing. And then looking at the team, the D-line, like I've been able to talk to CJ Presley a little bit and a couple other guys, but you know, just hearing how they talking about the D-line and what they want to do this season, that was just like big for me because I'm a winner. You know, at Purdue, I was winning. At OU, we won 10 games, 2 seasons back-to-back, never been done in history. So I know what it takes to win, and I want to bring that winning culture to Prairie View.
No, that's dope. And you know, one thing I always say, right, is you can't never accomplish nothing you don't believe, right? You know what I'm saying? There's a statement from this book I love, right? It says, you know, we achieve little because we attempt little, right? Simple statement, right? But it's factual because at the end of the day, right? You're never gonna hit nothing you don't even aim at. Don't even make sense, right? And so when you talk about learning how to win, it's like that mentality is so important. You know what I mean? Having people, you know, Coach Green, right, who was the offensive line coach, he talked about this year in recruitment, right, going out and wanting to really bring in guys that come from winning programs. They know how to win, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you really got to teach people how to win. We're talking about Colorado getting over the hump, right? Dion has been there, right? You know what I'm saying? Stewart's been there, but you got some guys who may be coming in. You got to teach them how to win, how to close out games, right? And so, you know, hearing you talk about that, right, I think that's so important because that's the mindset that once you get everybody on the same page, I think really something special could be done. And, you know, the D-line is, you know, I've said this, you know, throughout last year, you know, I think they even clipped me on one of the videos, right? It's, that you can see how that room got better and better and better going toward the end of the year. And now looking at yourself, right, and some of the other gentlemen, young men that Coach Jackson is bringing in to add to the room, like, man, listen, this defensive line is, I really, really feel like this defensive line is about to go off this year. And like I say, when you got trench play, when you handle it in the trenches, I mean, it makes everybody else's job easy. You know what I'm saying?
It does. And in my opinion, the game is won up front. So
Facts.
however good the defensive line and offensive line play, that's really dictating the game. Also, I mean, of course, with the turnovers and things like that, but the trenches is where it's won. So that's huge.
No, I mean, but I mean, you got to think about it, right? Like, if we really go back and you talk about watching film and talk about breaking games down, and really looking at it on the individual level, if you talk about turnovers, right? I mean, how many times? I mean, yeah, man, that's a great catch, right? That cornerback made, but the reason that quarterback threw off his back foot in the first place was because of the pressure that came up the middle. You know what I'm saying, right? Or because he was on the run because of the edge rusher, right? That got around the tackle. So, like it still is facts that what happens up front affects the game so much, right? And so when you talk about turnovers, you talk about getting the ball back to an offense that got a new offensive coordinator that's looking to go crazy, right? Like, these things affect the game so much, man. And it's like I say, I'm excited to hear, that people coming into the room, they got an expectation to win. You know what I'm saying? Because I expect to win. Like, I feel you. I come from a winning program, period. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever expect to lose. Like, what's the point of that? I'm like Herm Edwards. Like, you play to win the game.
For sure. Yeah.
You play to win the game, right? You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about obviously coming down, adding to the room, you talked about a little bit some of the guys you're able to talk to already. For you, do you have any specific goals for yourself, this year? And do you have any specific goals for the D-line room? Have you, when you have these conversations, with CJ Presley and some others, right? What's that conversation as far as, look, this is the goal, this is what we're seeking to do this year at PV in this room?
As a team, I feel like one of our goals as a defense is going to be getting off the field on third down, because the game is won. Like, if you get off the field on third down, that's how you win games. That's how you get the offense the ball as many times as possible. So I feel like just working with, Lucas Coley coming in as quarterback, getting him the ball back, or whoever the quarterback is, as much as possible, letting the offense work. Because the offense, chaos offense. I'm hip. I'm watching them. So getting them off the ball as much as possible, and then doing our job and getting off the field third down. Personally, for me, I want to come in and just be the best I can be. So that if that is being the best player in the SWAC, defensive player of the year, if that's leading the team in sacks, if that's leading the team in TFLs, I want to do my part to the best of my ability. So
yeah. No, that's big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like how you said it, right? It's whatever it is that I can do the best to the best of my ability, right? You know what I'm saying? So I love how you phrase that. That makes perfect sense, because if everybody takes care of their job and handles it to the best that they can, then obviously we'll be able to accomplish the ultimate goal. Now, obviously, I don't know if you've seen the show, man, but listen, everybody to come on. Like, there's one thing they got to do. All right. And what they got to do is they got to write a big check. All right. We big check writers around here. You know what I'm saying? You came from a 10-win Ohio squad twice, right?
Twice.
Man, what's the big check that you writing, for PV Nation this year?
Big check I'm writing. I'm going to put $1 million on it. I mean, I'm a millionaire. That's what I want to be. So nothing less.
You want to be a millionaire?
Billionaire.
Billionaire.
Billionaire. I want it all. I want it all.
So hey, you gotta give me some for this year. For this year, 2024. What's the big check?
Big check. Win. We gonna win the championship.
Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. I like it. All right, you know what I'm saying? I think we all on the same page here. You know what I'm saying? We got, like Kerwin say in the comments, right? Write that check. You know what I'm saying? Write it down. You know what I'm saying? Write that check. And I think, listen, my big check, I don't know if you know, right? Because I think you might not know, you know what I'm saying? Because I wrote a check. I wrote a check a long time ago, actually. Let me listen. I wrote this check a long time ago. Okay. Why not PV? 2024 swag. These are t-shirts. By the way, these t-shirts that everybody who ordered your t-shirts, right? They done, right? You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna be getting it soon. You know what I mean? Because listen, I was so confident. You feel me? I went ahead and print t-shirts early. You feel me? You feel me? Like I'm so confident. I just went ahead and print the t-shirt early because why wait so long when I could be rocking it all throughout the year? You feel me? Right. So, but not only did I say like we're gonna win a SWAC championship, because I mean that's great. I already know we're gonna do that, right? But I also said not only gonna win, we also gonna host it. Which that means I know we're gonna have the best record this year, right? You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna host it at home at the crib at PV, you know what I'm saying? So we're really gonna get to see, you know what I'm saying, how we get down multiple times throughout the year, man. And so I'm super excited, man, to have you down. Super excited to have you to join this squad, right? And just the mentality that you bring. Obviously, with the entrepreneurship acumen you bring as well. You feel me? And I know PV Nation and alum are gonna love to connect with you, right? Because like I say, we got multiple people who do multiple things, right? Even when you talk about that Aspire Institute and Academy that you're trying to that you're looking at doing. I know we also talked with Miles McHaney, and he had a similar goals. His eligibility is done, right? But he has similar goals back in Michigan that he wanted to do, and have that after school program and recreation center that he set up. So, I love to see like-minded individuals, and the connections that can be made. Because, like I always say, football is a place where we can meet, you know what I'm saying, and basically come from different cultures even and meet each other. But it doesn't stop there, right? We creating a connection that's a lifelong connection. So again, man, we enjoyed having you on. Any last words you got for PV Nation just as a whole, man, before we close out?
Hey, why not PV, man? Let's go do it big. Everybody watching, we winning it all this year. We doing it big. So
doing it big.
That's really I ain't gonna say no more. We're gonna put in that work, and that's gonna be it.
That's it, man. That's it. Hey, man, but listen, we're going to connect offline. And we always here, man. Anytime you want to reach out, PV versus everybody, this platform is yours. This is for the student athletes, former student athletes, right? Anybody, PV Nation, man, y'all hit us up, because this is what we're here for. You know what I mean? We're here for all of PV Nation, right? All alum, everybody that's connected with the university. And hey, when you enrolled, when you got in grad school, you connected with us. So that means, listen, you PV now through and through, man. And so we can't wait for you to have your own PV experience. Like I say, not just on the field, right, but off the field as well, man. And I really believe you're gonna enjoy that experience, man, and get that HBCU experience and take it back to Ohio, man. Be like, hey, listen, y'all need to go down to Texas. Don't just stay in Ohio.
For sure.
Yeah, man. But until next time, man, we appreciate everybody out there. If you have not liked this video yet, make sure you like the video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. The goal is 500 subs by the fall. Again, for all of you who have already, thank you so much. Y'all who want to get a shirt, sorry, it's over. You know what I'm saying? He had to get on it early. You know what I'm saying? He had to get on it early. It's gone. It's exclusive. You feel me? So, but until next time, man, I'll holler at y'all. We out.